Overwatch 2 celebrated its first anniversary this week, and it has been a bit of a rough stretch to be honest. But change is in the air. Let's dive in. Hey guys, I'm Dinzy from the Omnic Post. You wouldn't think it, but last Wednesday, Overwatch 2 celebrated its first anniversary, hence the anniversary event. But yeah, in its current state, I wouldn't blame you if you missed it. That being said, it is kind of insane that a year has passed already, that we're close to Season 7. On the other hand, it has been a year to remember, and not always in the good sense. I love this game, and I respect the people that make it tremendously. But goddamn, those first 10 months were a f***ing disaster. But as I've said before, I can understand why. This had to happen. The old game had to shed its skin to become something different. And whether or not you like this new shape or this new form for Overwatch, it definitely went through a lot of changes in the last 12 months. To be honest, I wouldn't be too surprised if there's a banner somewhere in the office or someone has a post-it on their screen counting down to that big release for Season 6 and the official release when they left the early access behind them. That they could leave that past roller coaster behind them and board a nicer ride. A fun ride. Not that I'm going to state that the team didn't have any fun in the last 12 months, but I do think it must have been difficult. Difficult to see the community, well, basically turn on them, for reasons that for most people were out of their control. But they had their nose in the same direction, they all pushed through. And while we still have a road ahead, things definitely seem to have changed, both for the game and the community. Up to a few weeks ago, the most prevalent emotion within the community was anger. A lot of anger. Every post I made, every video I uploaded was met with a ton of hateful comments. And the people that had something positive to say were either buried between all those negative comments, or they were too afraid to post anything, because they thought they were going to get bullied, which probably would have happened. It was a mess, and it was stressing. Well, for me at least. It's not a lot of fun to see those type of comments on your content. On top of that, my numbers were struggling, just as I was planning to go full-time content creation. But to a certain extent, I can understand the anger. I also felt it, but I'm an old man. I deal with it easier. See, I don't always agree with the way that anger was expressed, but I do see where it's coming from. Basically, a lot of promises were made and they did not manage to deliver on those promises. The thing is, at some point, that anger evolved into blind hate. People were just defecating all over the game because other people were doing it, blindly repeating arguments that either were no longer valid or that never made any sense. It basically became trendy to hate Overwatch. I noticed that myself when I ran into an old acquaintance. That person knew that I was invested in the game, that I ran the Omnic Post. So that conversation quickly changed subjects towards Overwatch. And they were telling me how bad the game actually is and how Blizzard ruined it. But I started noticing some of those fake arguments, those same things I see in my comments that don't make any sense. So I asked the person, do you still play? Turns out they hadn't played the game in almost 3 years. Yeah, I punched that person in the face and I walked away. They might still be there. I punched rather hard. And this whole trend of hating Overwatch, it was kind of fueled by some people with the proper influence, for reasons that I explained in another video that I posted on my personal channel. Go check it out in case you're interested. Damesy's TV. While it didn't need to go as bad as it did, that negative perception, well, it was to be expected. It was inevitable, and Blizzard knew that. They were prepared. And at that time, I also said in one of my videos that this too shall pass, as it has with a lot of other franchises. I've seen this happening over and over again. Not always as spectacular, but still. And in the last few weeks, I've seen the first signs of that passing. My numbers have jumped up dramatically. I'm really glad you guys enjoy my content. And a pretty good timing since I went full-time content creation a few weeks ago. The comments on my content have overall also been a lot more positive. Sure, there's still people that are very critical about anything Blizzard does, and some for good reason, while others are still hitting that same button like it is a hot slot machine. But what has changed? Why are we seeing this uptake in the community's mood? Well, first of all, time has passed. We tend to get angry about things, as humanity on a whole, but we also tend to forget pretty quickly, which in some cases can be very disappointing. But you know, on the other hand, it is also very human. It is a way to survive. If you stay angry about anything for too long, well, you're going to die at 40. And trust me, there definitely are still people that are angry. But most of those people have moved on. They don't play the game anymore. They don't follow the news. For them, it's over. Well, at least for now. And then there's a big influx of new people, either through Steam but also through battle.net. Ever since the release of Season 6, that marketing machine has been working really hard, and yeah, that brings in a lot of new people. And those are all people that never played Overwatch 1, that are not aware of all that drama. Those people are just, well, having fun. Now combine those new people with the huge group of old people that remained quiet all the time, and yeah, you basically get a happier community. And then there's the actual game. Now, there are still issues. Things that rub the community the wrong way. Things that need to change. But overall, the game is in a good spot. And yeah, sure, before you start typing your comment, the balancing can be wacky at times. And that can be frustrating because it is an important part of the game. But it is also very typical that there are issues with balancing in any game. Because there's millions of different players with different playstyles on top of over 35 heroes. Not easy. In other words, there's always going to be a point of discussion. On the other hand, we've seen a lot less complaining about progression or lack of content. Everybody will always complain about rewards. That's just the thing. We always want things for free. Simple. And I've never seen so much enthusiasm for a season that does not include a hero as I've seen for Season 7. People are excited for the new map, the new Halloween mode. Everybody seems to love those new skins, even if they won't be able to get all of them. What I'm saying here is that the game is in a way better place than it was a year ago, and that it is still evolving. Which by itself helps a lot of people to let go of the past, accept this new reality, and just have fun with the game. Which in the end is still the idea behind any game. Just know that we're not out of the woods just yet. There will still be things that upset the community in the months and years to come. Some will be small, but there will be big ones still. Critical moments like new heroes, new modes, and yeah, the next batch of new PvE missions. Then there's the evolution of the game in general. There's the rewards in the shop, the occasional bugs and mishaps. But the team have shown that they're ready to listen and that they want to offer solutions to all of our problems. At least as much as possible. They want to meet us in the middle. Let's talk to them like humans again. I do think, however, that we made it through the roughest patch. That there's a nice future ahead, and that over time, Overwatch will win the hearts of millions of players again, both old players and new players. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Oh wait, no. Turns out it's just the light on my phone. Sorry, fixed it. It's going to be okay. A new era has started. But tell me, what do you think about this new vibe in the community? Let me know in the comments. And try to stay nice. A big thank you to my patrons for their support. You are all legends. You too can join the family over on patreon.com/theomnicpost. Make sure to subscribe for more updates on Overwatch. And join me during my streams right here on YouTube or over on twitch.tv/DamesTV. Till then, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye bye.